Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And I wanted to do a video on my top 10 favorite wrestlers right now. And I'm going to do that in this video. But before I start, I want to just say something. I went on WWE.com and I'm looking at all the wrestlers. And I'm realizing there's not a lot of wrestlers that I like on the fucking roster right now. I'm looking at a lot of guys. Los Matadores, Cena, Orton, just a lot of fucking shit on there. I'm like, I don't like any of these guys. I wouldn't put them on a top 10 even. I was like, their fucking talent pool is like almost non-existent. They got fucking nobody. There's nobody there. And I had a very tough time actually completing this list. Like the first couple, no problem. But as I started getting down to the bottom of the list, I started realizing that, I'm like, okay, I don't really feel so strongly about this, but I don't hate these guys. So I guess they're sort of like in my top 10. Anyway, here we go. At number 10, we'll do from my not as favorite to my absolute favorite, 10 to 1. At number 10, Stardust. I don't really like the Stardust character. It's just fucking, like copy of Goldust. Just an excuse to, provide some longevity with the team because they fucked up with the Rhodes brothers. So they had to do something a little bit different to recapture their interest. They didn't need to do that, but they felt like they did. All they had to do was have them win matches. And I have noticed that they're not as like fiery as they were when they were the fucking Rhodes brothers. Stardust and Goldust are not as fiery as like when they were just the normal brother tag team. But anyway, Cody Rhodes, Stardust, is still a good wrestler and he deserves to be at number 10. At number 9, Luke Harper. It's a good wrestler that really hasn't gotten a chance to shine. They stick him in fucking shit-ass tag matches. Now he's separated from Eric Rowan. We saw a little promo on Raw with all the eyes. It was kind of creepy, so maybe Luke Harper can become more than what he was. I can kind of hope. But this guy is very capable of doing a lot of different things in the ring. He could do a lot of different moves for a guy his size. Usually when you see a guy around 6'6", 6'7", the guy is usually very, very incapable of performing a lot of different moves. But Luke Harper has a very wide moveset, and that's something very rare. And Luke Harper could definitely become something if they let him. And number 8, Jack Swagger. I still am a Swagger fan. I have to say I like Jack Swagger. He's a good wrestler. He knows how to wrestle. He gets made fun of a lot, throughout his career. People have made fun of him. His world title reign was very forgettable. His lisp, which I've never really heard, but people claim that he has one. He looks like Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. But I still like Jack Swagger. And Swagger, started off his big patriotic gimmick. And it was going well, but then they fucked it up. See, that's the problem with Swagger. They're always fucking everything up. Swagger was actually really fucking good at the beginning of 2013. He could have had a big Mania match. But then he got fucked up because he was fucking smoking pot while driving. He was in possession of marijuana, wherever the fuck it was. Jack Swagger, with the We the People gimmick when they were doing like anti-illegal immigrants promos with Zeb Coulter. They really fucked it up. The promos got all fucked up because he got punished. And it led to, nonsense. And it was stupid. There was no reason to punish him like that because it was going well. They were getting a lot of media attention. Yet they had Michael Cole going down to what the fuck is his name? That fucking guy on the radio. Can't think of his name right now. But he went down to the headquarters and they started causing trouble. And it was beginning to get a lot of media fire behind it. It was it was starting to go really well for WWE, and then they just fucked it up, and it was a real fucking shame. They should have handled it better than that. Okay, I could see punishing him for being in drug possession, getting in trouble with the law is bad for their image, but still, they could have handled this a little bit better than they did. Then at number 7, it was Goldust. We had Goldust, at number 7. Still an Attitude Era guy. I'm still a fan of Goldust, but as I said, I'm not really liking where the whole Goldust Stardust thing is going. This tag title run has been pretty fucking boring. Matches against the Usos and Los Matadores is not fucking impressing me one little bit. I'm very bored with this fucking tag title run. It's not going anywhere. It's not doing anything for me, really. And as they said, Goldust was, when he first came back to WWE in 2013, he was doing a lot better. He was doing hurricanranas off the top rope. He was being really impressive. Now he ain't doing really all that much in the fucking ring to impress me, but I still like Goldust. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to say that he's, not motivated at the moment. I'm going to give the typical excuses. But still, I'm a fan of Goldust, and I always will be. Still a great Attitude Era star. No, at number 6, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, Ziggler, as they said on Raw during the promo with Triple H, every single time he gets to the top, he gets knocked back down. It's pretty much fucking ridiculous already. Dolph Ziggler doesn't win a lot of matches, even though he's a fucking champion. It's kind of pathetic. But still, I still like Dolph Ziggler. He's still a good wrestler, and you can't take that away from him. It's just a shame that they fucking step on him every single moment that they get. He was the fucking champion. And then he gets a concussion, putting his body on the line for Vince McMahon, the company, and the fans. And what the fuck do? They fucking take the title off of him. What a fucking piece of shit move that was. How the fucking you take a title off a guy who's putting his body on the line for your fucking company? That right there is low class. That right there is fucking garbage. That's fucking bullshit, motherfuckers. How the fuck you gonna take a title off a guy like that? Anyway, Dolph Ziggler, still a good wrestler. I still like him. And, I don't know. He's still young, so maybe they could do something with him. But, come on already. It's kind of pathetic. And number 5, Cesaro. Another wrestler that has been downtrodden. They started off really well with him at the beginning of the year. They broke up the Real Americans. And, even though it was sort of like a weird type of breakup, like they were going to break up, and then they forgot about it for a while, and then they just, they fucking broke up on a fucking pre-show. And then they just kind of danced around it for a while. They wouldn't let Cesaro really pick up steam. They had him in a world title match. Then they had him in an intercontinental title match. Then they just had him all over the fucking place. They couldn't even decide what to fucking do with the guy. It was a real fucking shame because he's a really good fucking wrestler. He's a guy who has a lot of fucking moves to showcase during a match. As they say, an old school style. Yeah, old school because he actually fucking wrestles. He doesn't just fucking jerk around in the ring. He actually knows what he's doing in there. A really good fucking technical wrestler with a lot of different moves. And I really want the best for Cesaro, but he's getting the worst. They're putting fucking pumpkins on his head. They're doing all sorts of goofy shit with them. And I heard it's all because he made fun of the Orton-Cena storyline. He said things about Orton and John Cena, and now he's being punished for it. And how do they punish wrestlers? by putting fucking pumpkins on their goddamn fucking head. What a fucking embarrassment. What the fuck is wrong with Vince McMahon? I've never heard this before. Oh, you're being punished. Oh, yeah? How are you going to punish me? I'm going to put a fucking pumpkin on your head. Ah, fuck off. What a bunch of fucking lame-ass retarded bullshit. And number 4, Bray Wyatt. Yes, Bray Wyatt. They ruined him. They buried him with Cena, but I still like him. I still like his character. Even though I don't know what the fuck he's saying half the time. Even though his promos are just fucking garbage. They're just gobbledygook, motherfuckers. But still a great wrestler. And I don't feel he's had the match to the level of quality that he had with Daniel Bryan. As far as one-on-one. Now he's going to get a chance to do more one-on-one matches. His feud with Chris Jericho is very disappointing. But now with Dean Ambrose, maybe Bray Wyatt could have his chance to have some really good matches. And it's about time. He's a very stiff worker. You know, he hits very hard. He's very unforgiving in the ring. And I'm looking forward to seeing Bray Wyatt in a singles role. But as far as I could see, like they did with him on Raw, you know, they need to do more than just have him sit up on the entrance ramp and laugh like an idiot. They got to do way more with him. That he's too talented to be, you know, put in such a position where he's not really allowed to do much. Have him do as much as you can. You know, don't overwork him like Daniel Bryan. Look what happened there. But, you know, still, do what you can to, you know, it's not like they got a lot of fucking wrestlers. I mean, for fucking God's sakes, I got Stardust on my favorites, motherfuckers. Stardust. Number 3, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is a great wrestler. As seen, he had 2 good matches on Raw. Motherfucker could wrestle, you know, circles around the most wrestlers from the past even. A great acrobat. The man could, you know, he could flip no problem, land on his feet. Another guy that surprises us with new moves like every night, just fucking does a new move like almost every single match we get to see out of him. Very talented wrestler. Another ROH guy, another top ROH guy that's gaining a lot of success. And what I like about Seth Rollins is he's winning a lot. You know, he does have a lot of momentum behind him. He beat Randy Orton. He beat Ambrose in the cage. He's been beating wrestlers left and right. And Seth Rollins is looking really good right now. So when he does become the world champion, you know, perhaps it will actually work out. Maybe better than Dolph Ziggler. Then at number 2, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is great psychologically. I think they could do more with his character. You know, enough with the mannequins and everything. It's time to get serious with Ambrose. Have him do more serious promos. He should be more psychological. They don't have to turn him heel, but he could be a little bit scarier. You know, make people like ooh and ah at, like, you know, his promos. He's still good with promos. He's still good, you know, in every way possible, but, you know, he could be better. You know, he had a great match at the pay-per-view. Hell in a Cell was a good fucking match. Ambrose continues to have good matches, but, you know, I always feel like they're not pushing Ambrose hard enough to develop that character of his. He needs to do better. Better! And number 1, this might surprise a lot of people, Brock Lesnar. That's right. I don't care. I complained, I bitched, I moaned, I fucking complained some more, and I fucking bitched and moaned some more, motherfuckers. But I still love Brock Lesnar. And why? He might not be there, but when he is, he fucking kicks ass. That's right. I love Brock Lesnar. A great ruthless aggression era wrestler. A guy that within 2 years managed to have some amazing matches. And even though we're going to have to wait to the Rumble to see him again, you know, to see him wrestle again, he's scheduled for a before the TLC pay-per-view after Survivor Series. So we'll get to see him, but we won't get to see him wrestle. It's just a fucking shame with a guy like this. And that's the thing, the presence. You see Brock Lesnar and you know that's a star right there. And that's why he's my favorite. Even when he makes an appearance, it feels important because Brock Lesnar, he looks like wrestlers from the Attitude Era, from the Ruthless Aggression Era, at the very least. You know, he looks like he belongs. He doesn't look like a bitch. He doesn't look like some random fucking hobo they took off the street. He doesn't look like some fucking schmuck that's a nobody. Doesn't look like a jobber. Looks like a legit star. Looks like an actual wrestler, like how wrestlers used to look back in the day from the periods in which I mentioned. It brings me back now. Brock Lesnar is a true throwback, and that's why I like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is like an old school fucking wrestler, and when he does appear, I'm happy to see him. So even though we don't get to see him all the time, I'm still a big fan of Brock Lesnar. And, you know, I want to see what happens with the world title, even though he hasn't been there for fucking 2 months now. When he does appear, I will be happy. And I can't wait to see him. So anyway, those are my top 10 favorite wrestlers right now. Kind of a shit-ass fucking list. But that's because they got a shit-ass fucking roster. It sucks motherfucking dick, motherfuckers. And until they improve it, I mean, that's my favorites for right now. But, you know, they have to do way better than that. I shouldn't, you know, have to scrape the bottom of the barrel to list 10 wrestlers that I like. You know, I should have 10 wrestlers that I love, not just like on my list. Alright, motherfuckers.